So you've just realized that the winter season is coming and you need a new jacket. So you walk into your local outdoor store, and right there at the front of the store are two jackets that look almost identical, but one is $90 and the other one is $400. So what really is the difference between these two jackets? Is it performance, or is it really just about the logo on the two jackets? Let's find out if brand name gear is really worth it, or if you're really just paying for the label. This comes up all the time in backpacking. Do you really need to spend top dollar for the best gear out there, or can you actually save some time, some money, and some resources and still be safe and comfortable and warm out on the trail? Every backpacker faces this at some point or another. You compare two pieces of nearly identical gear. They are made out of the same material, they have the same specs, and they look like they're doing the exact same job. However, one costs like triple what the other one does. If you don't know what that extra money is actually going for with the gear, it's really easy to overpay just for the name of the brand, or you underpay, buy the budget item, and then it's not there for you when you really need it. It doesn't perform for you like you need it to when it really matters. So what are you really paying for when you buy a brand name product? What you're paying for really with this is consistency. Companies like Arc'teryx, Mammut, or Patagonia test their products really relentlessly. They test everything from zippers to stitching to durability tests and warmth ratings really harshly, and they put it through its tests and kind of its paces really intensely when they're designing and producing their product. And that is what keeps their product predictable when you're going out to purchase it. Budget gear might look the same online, but it really kind of it's really hit or miss in the quality control department. Even within the same brand and the same tent model, you might buy one tent that works perfectly fine and it's great, and then the next tent is leaking everywhere and doesn't hold up to the stresses of Mother Nature. You're not necessarily paying for better material, although sometimes that is the case. What you're paying for is a consistency of production and quality assurance and testing that these larger brands have put their products through every single time. Just as a personal example, I do remember walking into an outdoor outfitter a number of years ago and seeing brands like Mammut and Cotopaxi on the shelves, but they were definitely on the lower shelves, or they're kind of on the clothing racks off to the side and really not put in prominent places in the store. And the thing was, these were a lot cheaper than the bigger brands of the time, like North Face or Patagonia or Arc'teryx. And yet, not many people were buying them at the time. Now, it's kind of crazy to say that now because Cotopaxi and Mammut are huge brands that everybody wants to wear and is wearing, is taking out into the outdoors. Fast forward a few years and those brands are seen outside everywhere. They're on the top shelves and everyone's talking about them and everyone's wearing them and using them. That did teach me something with brands, which is that quality of a brand comes before the popularity of the brand in a lot of times. And so there are ways to actually spot these companies before they become huge brand name companies, and so you can get quality gear and product for a lower price. Another thing you have to look at is kind of the performance versus perception aspect of all of this. There is a confidence factor that comes with a trusted brand name that you're used to seeing everywhere. Sometimes we buy gear because it genuinely does perform better, and other times we buy gear because we just kind of know that it is better gear. And a lot of that comes down to brand recognition. But it is always worth asking yourself, am I really buying this piece of gear because I actually need this piece of gear and this brand? Or because it feels good to have sort of the right gear and the brand name gear because you want to feel good about having that. And that is where performance turns into perception a lot of times. A lot of hikers and backpackers make this mistake, and I'm going to show you how to not make that mistake yourself. This is where we get into the conversation of durability and longevity. Generally, more expensive gear comes with better stitching, better craftsmanship, and better quality control, as we talked about. It also comes with better hardware that could be zippers or snaps or clips, depending on what kind of gear you're looking at, but it basically just comes with better hardware, better making quality, and better quality assurance. And this might be when you say a $400 jacket that is going to last you 10 years is a better purchase than a $100 jacket that might last you a couple of seasons. But remember, this is not always going to be a conversation of between buying the thing that is cheap and the thing that is sort of the premium. Some of the best value in outdoor gear comes from cottage companies, which by nature are very small companies that produce usually a couple of items really well. Some of these companies are Enlightened Equipment, Durston, or Hilltop Packs, and there are a lot of other ones, but cottage companies really kind of make their bread and butter by being really good at one or two products or niches in the backpacking community. What they do is they use the same material a lot of times that these bigger brand companies use, or even maybe sometimes better material, but they also skip a lot of the high markups because they don't necessarily have as much of the label recognition. And so they're basically producing these really high-end quality items without the high-end quality price tag. But if you're only getting out a few weekends a year, that difference might not matter too much to you. So what is the main takeaway from this? Is brand name gear really worth it? And sometimes it is, but not because of the label. It is worth it when that company has proven itself and proven that it can perform really well out on the trail and take a beating and still keep performing. This is where I would say that it is not worth it to buy a piece of gear just for the label to make yourself feel better about what you're using on the trail. Buy stuff that actually works for you and is high quality itself. Understand what you value. Is it reliability? Is it cost? Or is it peace of mind from using a brand that everybody knows and you've heard time and time again that is really reliable? So you're gonna have to kind of figure that out for yourself and then purchase and spend and buy products based on that. If you like this video, make sure to watch this one right here where I talk about all the mistakes I made and things that I wish I knew before I started backpacking. So click on that one to learn more about that. And thanks for watching.